Malia is a hopeless romantic. The way she thinks about love, life, and relationships may be getting in her way. Do you think this is a problem? I think any form of, if you're not walking in reality, it can definitely be a problem. And I definitely understand, like, there are some gender roles or traditional items that I believe in. And there are certain things that, they're just not possible because the world that we live in is changing so much. So you have to be able to adapt. So I just feel like, yeah, sometimes when you're a hopeless romantic, you see life in a certain way. You have a whole script because you're crazy, right? You got a whole script. It was a funny video me and Kyrie saw, and I think I sent it to Alicia. It was months ago. And that girl was saying that she was like, I'm a Pisces, and so I don't have any friends because I create a script in my head, and I know how everybody's supposed to act, behave, and do. And when they don't, then I get upset because they're not following the script. And I was like, oh my God, that is me. I was like, there has to be a pill to fix this. It has to be, because that's not normal, right? But when you understand how your brain works, you have to say that's not normal. Yes, like Alicia was like, maybe Chan can get down there on one knee and I want you to be my woman. I want to profess my love. That would be like sweet, but realistically, you probably ain't gonna do all that, right? So I think there's nothing wrong with being a hopeless romantic, as long as being a hopeless romantic falls within logic. I think if you're not using logic and you're just going on all this fairy tale stuff, you'll be really disappointed by life. Be really, really, really disappointed. But being a hopeless romantic does not mean that you should just lower your standards, and because it's not going to happen. It can happen. You got to find the right person who can match your energy, because I always say it's really about matching energy, because I can't expect something that I'm not willing to give to you. So if I'm a hopeless romantic, if I love candles and baths with, expensive oils and rose petals, and if I like that means I have to do that for you too. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think it's really about finding that person where your ideologies line up together.
There you go.
Taking the time to develop that relationship. Do we agree on this? Or is this something that you can compromise for me because this is what I would like? Because some of the stuff, Malia, she's kind of out there, but I don't think it's too much, and then I also think she's on a journey of learning relationships because she hasn't had much relationship history too. So we kind of got to give her a little grace because she's still evolving in this relationship part of her life too. So, but I definitely agree with what you said, Karina.
Definitely.
Okay.
Alicia.
Girl, I had to go find my charger. My computer is about to die. Okay, let me read it again. Malia is a hopeless romantic. The way she thinks about love, life, and relationships is getting in her way. Do you think this is a problem? It can, yeah, definitely. It could be. What is that we were saying? I think a few, or maybe in the earlier episodes about people romanticizing things, and she puts things in her head, and if things don't go the way, I heard what Karina was saying, like
mentally ill. Okay.
She think up a whole scenario in her head, and somehow that becomes fact, even though nobody else is aware of that. So, yeah, it could be a problem.
But I've grown, folks. I've grown. Mm-hmm.
You have, because you could. She's willing to compromise now, whereas before it was like, nope, because I said. I'm like, oh, okay.
In my mind, it was like, no, it has to happen this way. It was weird,
right? Like, no, in my mind, this is what it's gonna go. So you guys gonna do this? I mean, girl, from the Barbie dolls to dating to everything, to what we gonna wear, to what we gonna sing.
We can go to a movie night and have dinner without it be like, no, because we have to do this first.
Sit over there. I need you to sit over here because the lighting is good right here. So you sit here. I'll sit there. He's gonna sit over there, and this is what we're gonna eat.
The director, honey, the director would come out in me, and it's like, no, nobody wants to be directed. Save that for your first movie.
Like, come through. So,
coming soon.
Yeah. She's a daydreamer. She's a daydreamer. So, yeah, she is a hopeless romantic, I guess. She keeps, she's waiting on Brother Chan.
Waiting for that brother.
even though in her head, she's already been the movie director and she know how things are gonna go when she do get a hold of them. She's like, yeah, because when it do happen, this is how it's going down, baby. Like she got the plan together. So
plan is in motion.
It could be a problem if it's out of control, but maybe
Definitely.
not too much. Yeah, maybe not too much.
Next question is yours, Kyrie.
All right. Our next question says, when Malia started choking at the sound of Chan's voice, it made me laugh. She seems nervous around him. Do you think being nervous around a person could be a sign to stay away from them?
Ooh, talk about it. Talk about it.
I guess it depends on the kind of nervousness, because what I learned is those butterflies that you feel are actually warning signs.
Go.
That a person is supposed to make you feel calm and comfortable and peaceful around them. But if your body's throwing all kinds of signals, you're having anxiety, panic attacks, you can't breathe, you can't talk, maybe that's a sign that your body's like, this is not going to work out for us in the long run, whether it's a month, 5 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, your body knows. But of course we have to learn our lessons because we're taught wrong. So I wish I had known that, because I had butterflies in a few of my past relationships and did not work out. But also I think that there is a positive nervousness, just because you're anxious, you're excited for, the possibility of a new relationship too. So, if you have to run to the bathroom because you're suffocating, then that's probably not the one.
Or if your hand is like,
right. You might want to run away.
Something's wrong with him, sis. Let it go.
Like, girl, I was going on this date, but then I had to go to the bathroom, so we had to cancel this because God was trying to tell me.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. God will stop you by taking you to the bathroom. He's like, no, you don't need to be there. You about to get that diarrhea. Nope, you ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere. You know us, we'll still try to go, and then God be like, oh, okay, you think
this one? You think you tough?
And number 3. Now, enjoy that. You ain't going nowhere.
You gotta have the depends on, baby, because you about to make a mess.
Like, oh, where my diaper at? I'm going on this date. It's too far.
You got your bag in place. We ain't missing out on baby.
We ain't
boy.
missing it.
Girl, that's desperation. That's horrible. Stay home, sis. You got a stomach bug.
Right. If I do go on a date, I'm not wearing no dang diaper.
You know what I mean?
No, it'd be funny too. Have on a tight dress, and he'd be like,
"Stop!"
But
girl, somebody.
Why is it puffy back there? What's that?
Looking like a box of BBL.
That happened. That happened.
Sit down, you can hear all this crunch. Like, what the hell?
This lady had a really, really cute dress on. She's an older lady. Her dress was bang because her body was right. Like, she took care of herself. And she turned around and was like, don't worry about it. I just have a little depends on it. Girl, it went viral. Because she had a bodycon dress on and had this depends. And I'm like, you should have just taken it off for the videos.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You'll be doing the most. I see stuff.
Or all of us know that about my thing. I could look at somebody and, oh, hey, little pumpkin, you do. Auntie coming to see you. Oh, he's like, oh, let me get out of here. But yeah, usually I could look at somebody, or maybe after talking to them half a sentence or something like that, I will know. I'll be like, no, something off about this.
She's always been really good at reading people.
It's like a warning in my head, and I know you guys are like, okay, but you were married to that piece of crap.
No,
I was warned about Nick. I just wasn't,
She was hopeless
convinced.
romantic. Loved them.
I was a hopeless romantic. I already had it out in my head how this was gonna go, and that's what was gonna happen. And so God had to show me a few things, but that's okay because Lily came back. So yeah, but it's never been a nervousness. It's always been a warning, like loud and almost like an alarm in my head. So if I do get nervous, I'm like, oh, I must really like this dude. Okay. Hold on. I'm feeling a certain way. Now, if I need the pens, we're gonna have to reschedule. But we gonna I don't get nervous. When I meet a guy, I don't, I'm not like, oh yeah, I'm the baddest bitch. Nothing like that. But I'm not scared of a lot of stuff, and if a guy approaches me, it's kind of like, oh, what do you want? And if I do decide, oh, shoot, you look good. Okay, here's the digits. And he actually calls and, we get to setting something up. If I get nervous about it, like I'm getting dressed, I'm like, ooh, I don't think it's even a nervous. I think it's more of an excitement. It's like, okay, yeah, because homie is fine. He smells good.
He's fine.
Think to see him again. Yeah. So if it's a nervousness, I take that as excitement. That must mean I really like him. Because me personally, I mean, alarms go off in my head, and Jesus tells me, he'll be like,
Jesus said it, baby.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Go ahead if you want to. You bad. So that's me.
Alicia used to make me mad when we were kids because I would like somebody and she would just be able to read people. And I'd be like, just shut up. I don't want to know. I wanted to find out the hard way. I guess when I was somewhere throwing myself on the bed crying, you don't want me, girl. Like, yeah, I tried to explain to you that he was going to be seeing your friend behind your back next week. You would want to listen. Alicia was always, she could just read and sum people up. And I'm like, I'm going to find out on my own. You know what I mean? And I would find out on my own. It was always John. But I didn't have really too many crazy experiences because people have always pretty much shown themselves very quickly. And I don't know if it's just something on the inside of us that forces it out. Like, I don't know if your spirit is like, we're going to make that come out of you. You know what I mean? So people kind of tell on themselves. But yeah, I feel like certain, like she said, being nervous about a date, is different than because it's like, oh, I want to like have a good impression. That's different than like your stomach curling up and your body's going into convulsions and like Kyrie said, you needed the pins because stuff ain't doing what it's supposed to be doing. That might be cause for like, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. There was somebody and I liked him a lot. And every time I got around, and I'm not a nervous person like that, but my hand would shake uncontrolled. I'm like, together. Like I would try to, but I'm like, why am I shaking? Like my hand would shake and it was weird, or I would like break into like a sweat, not like my face, but like my arms. I'm like, dang, soak this shirt. Like, I just didn't understand, like, why was this? And I was like, I must really like him. No, he had the devil in him. Again, he revealed himself super quickly. So then it wasn't like anything that I had to, didn't have to go through too much really, because we didn't get into a relationship. But I just thought it was really weird. I'm like, my hand would just shake and I would just get really sweaty and nervous. And then I come to find out he was crazy. So it was like, okay, perfect. Now I understand the warning signs. But yeah, I think if you're getting too nervous, that might be an indication. You need to pray about that. You need to look into that. Something ain't right, Why do we why can't we normalize feelings of peace and calmness? Like if I meet a friend or a potential friend, and I get around this person, I'm sweating and my hand is shaking. I'd be like, girl, there's something wrong with her. I'd be like, God is going to tell me she's going to be that person that when I'm sleeping, I'm going to get stabbed, right? So stay away from her. It's going to be single white female. You see what I'm saying? If you put it in a different context of like a friendship, meeting a person, every time you get around this person, it's just, you just can't get your mind together and you're shaking, you're stuttering, you feel uneasy or you feel nervous. That would be a clear-cut indication. Girl, something's wrong with her. This ain't gonna be a good fit for you. So why do we normalize it when we're with men? I was sweaty in my palms, and my heart raced, and we think it's love, and it's like, no, he's a stalker. But it's weird, like how we will normalize certain things in a romantic setting is fine, but if it was happening with like another woman, we'd be like, oh no, she got a problem. She might be into witchcraft. Right. Like that's like no. So
into witchcraft. Lord Jesus.
He's into witchcraft. A little voodoo.
Little voodoo, little, you know, little something, something here
You
and
know,
there.
just a little mix.